All right, so you're thinking about getting the Surface Book 3. I sold my Surface Book 2 over a year ago because I was waiting for the Surface Book 3 to come out. And in that period of time, I was trying to find other laptops that were cheaper that could serve as an alternative, but I couldn't really find one. So here's the Frankenstein's Monster edition of what I did for a cost-effective alternative that is actually better in a lot of ways, and it's by combining two devices. And basically what you would need to do is you would need to combine a good premium gaming laptop with the Surface Go. So this Sager laptop has an i7-9750. It came with 16 gigabytes of RAM, and I updated it or upgraded it to 40 gigabytes of RAM now. So if I minimize this, you'll notice that right now the desktop where the writing is showing that says Surface Book Alternative, that's actually this screen right here. That's the screen. So let me show you the desktop. So this is the desktop of the gaming laptop. It's mirroring the screen. Now there are a few different ways you can do this. And there's a way where you use wireless connection. And if you Google that, you'll actually see these steps here. And these steps are fine, but it doesn't really work well. That's what I found. I mean, you can go to settings, you could connect to a wireless PC, which I did, but then sometimes you use the handwriting or the writing ability with the pen. Whereas if I use this special software called Splashtop, which is what I'm using right now, as you could see, I can just click my Surface Go, and then it opens my Surface Go through the wireless network, and this is the screen on my Surface Go. So if I wanted to take notes, all I would need to do is leave this minimized, and then when I want to take notes, all I have to do is start writing here. So right here I wrote Surface Book 3 Alternative, and then if I want to look at my desktop on my gaming laptop, all I have to do then is minimize this, and this is my desktop on my gaming laptop, and this is more powerful than a Surface Book 3. So if I need power, I can use my gaming laptop. It's only 4.5 pounds. It has a 1650, 40 gigabytes of RAM now. If we look at Task Manager, you can see 39.8 gigabytes of RAM. And then it has the 1650 right here with 4 gigabytes of RAM. So obviously, if I wanted to get something just as powerful in one form factor, then obviously the Surface Book 3 is the way to go, but at the time it wasn't out yet. And if I combine the base model Surface Go, not even the Surface Go 2, the base model Surface Go, which you could get for $500, and this same laptop for $1,000, I'm going to be paying $1,500. And you might be asking yourself, well, you're paying $1,500, but you're losing out because you're not going to have a really nice detachable and it's not one device. So what I realized is with the gaming laptop or any premium laptop, you could get a Dell XPS, but you can't get one this powerful for less than $1,000. That's the problem. That's why people end up saying, well, if I need to take notes, I'm in college or I'm running a business like me, and I do consulting calls and webinars where I need to write on my screen and show the audience that. The problem was my Surface Go isn't as powerful. And then even with the Surface Book 2, one of the reasons I sold it, or actually the original Surface Book, is because it was dual core, and when I would try to start writing on my screen and sharing that via Zoom, GoToMeeting, it would start to slow down a little bit. So this powerful laptop that's an all-in-one is not really a laptop. That's the problem that a lot of people, we were marketed to in a way to compare it to a MacBook 13-inch, because at the time MacBooks were dual core processors too. It's like having a 4-cylinder engine. So my Surface Go, the first Surface Go, it has a 2-cylinder engine, but I'm only going to use it for taking notes. And then if, for example, I'm talking to my web developer and I need to show them something, I can still connect to my high-end laptop from Splashtop on my Surface Go, take that screenshot, and then send it to them. It's almost like Sidecar with iPad Pro and MacBook. The problem with that is if you get a iPad Pro, the 11-inch, you spend $700, $800, $900 with the pen and the case and everything. Or if you get the 12.9-inch version and you get the magic keyboard that they have now, you're going to be spending $1,400, $1,500 on that. And then you need a MacBook to connect it to, because if you want to use a proper laptop, the cheapest MacBook 13-inch that is decent is going to be about $1,699 to $1,800. So you're looking at $1,800 plus $1,300. That's $3,100. So a lot of people have said that, okay, well, I'll stick with Windows and I'll get the Surface Book 3. So you can get the 13-inch Surface Book 3. That's probably the sweet spot with the dedicated GPU. And that comes with the 1650. Then that one is going to be $1,999. So then after tax and all that good stuff and insurance, you're looking at $2,400 versus $3,500 if you want to go on the MacBook Pro side, or even stay on the Windows side. If you got a Dell XPS, which doesn't have a touchscreen, the decent model is going to be $1,500. And then you're going to need a Surface Go or Surface Pro. I would say get the Surface Go. It's a companion device. My kids even use this for homework. That's only going to be $500 with the keyboard. That's still only going to be $2,000. So that is my recommendation. And then you could try to use wireless connection. It's finicky though. So I prefer using Splashtop, or you could even try Chrome Desktop, where you connect via Chrome. You could try all those options. But to me, for $1,500, I got all the benefits of the Surface Book 3, which I'm still gonna get, but I'm showing you how you can still get the same conveniences by using Splashtop and getting a high-end, relatively light gaming laptop that's 4.5 pounds, maybe a half a pound heavier than the 15-inch Surface Book. And then you'll be lighter when you want to just write, because if I just want to carry this with me, this is 2 pounds. So then I can walk away from my desk. I can leave my laptop, the gaming laptop, where it's at. It's not a crazy looking gaming laptop, so I could take it with me. I could take both of them with me, and it weighs about 6 pounds and it's not that heavy. And the great thing about a gaming laptop, especially one of these Sagers, is that when I want to do rendering, it's not going to slow down like a Surface Book will, where it has to start to make sure it doesn't overheat. So the frequency of the processor will start to throttle. So instead of it going at 2.6 or something like that, it'll go all the way down to 1.6 or 1.4 or 2.4. And then if you want to make sure it doesn't do that, what you'll need to do is get one of those Bluetooth fans where you plug it into your computer and you point it towards the vents where the fans are and the CPU is, and just point it towards there and it'll cool it down. And you'll notice that you'll be able to use all of your programs well. Now, for those people that want to use the Quadro version of the Surface Book 3 that came out, and they want to use engineering programs like SolidWorks, you just have to make sure you know what you're getting into. The Surface Book 3 is not a laptop. It's a powerful, very, very powerful, the most powerful two-in-one, real two-in-one that turns to a tablet. So in a different video, I'll show you how I use the Surface Book 3 in convertible setup all the time. I just leave it like that because instead of detaching the screen and losing the graphics power, I just leave the screen turned around and then I prop it up with one of these devices I got on Amazon that I'll show. And then make sure you're in a cool environment, or make sure you have a little fan pointing towards the vents, because it's a very thin device. The part where the CPU is right behind the screen, and then the screen will get hot. You just want to make sure you keep it as cool as possible. And to get even more longevity and to basically make your life even easier, I would still use Splash Top if you have a rig where you have a Windows built rig where you have a really powerful CPU. You can actually work on your rig from your Surface Book. If you need to render something, you can hit the render button and you don't have to worry about turning off the power on your Surface Book or your Surface Go. If I'm using my Surface Go and I want to render a file, I'm obviously going to render it on my gaming machine. So I'll hit render on my gaming machine over the Splash Top software. You can use other versions of this as well, remote desktops from Chrome and other companies. And I'll hit render. I could turn off my Surface Book, or I could turn off my Surface Go and walk away and head home or head to a meeting and not worry about having to be rendering on my portable device. So I hope that helps. And the other thing that I really think you should use is this right here. This is a Logitech Master trackball mouse. You can use the regular one that's not a trackball. I use the one that's a trackball. So if I hit this button, it'll go from using my desktop to using my Surface Go. So I can use the mouse on both computers at the same time. So that's how I get the benefit of actually having two devices and it almost working like how one device on the Surface Book 3 would work. So I'm going to do more videos to show you how to do this and the different methods I use to speed up my workflow with having a web development, consulting, and coaching business. I have to make sure I have a fast workflow. So I'll show you all the different tips and tricks you can use in your business or in your career, or whether you're in school. And also, obviously, the Surface Book 3 is a very expensive laptop two-in-one. So if you want to learn different ways to make money with this device, if you're going to spend that type of money, you might as well make money with it. We'll talk about that as well. So let me know if you have questions like this, comment, tell us what you think. And in our next video, we'll show you even more cool tricks and ways to save money and make more money. Flo signing out, and talk to you soon.